Hi, I'm Rado Balvan. I'm a senior developer here at POLYGONS. I have experiences for 25 years already in software development area. Mostly I was working in the databases, different types, different coding languages, and this combined knowledge was used later in our project. The reason for the project and for similar projects, when you have old system which runs for a long time, it had to be maintained, and sometimes the people who learn it or who made it left the company or are leaving the company, so it's more and more difficult to maintain it, namely make any changes. This is kind of general driver of this kind of projects when you need to change old system and make a new running system. There were a couple of technological challenges coming from the completely different technologies, naming you have stored procedures in Oracle, and you wanted to make it in Java services potentially, or not potentially, but also on other databases. So we were migrating source code, but also we were migrating the database engine technology. Challenge was that there was a huge number of lines. The source code was several tens or thousands lines, which we needed to translate, and we had limited time to do that. It was just a couple of months. So we decided to do it with the support of the AI. AI was a big help, but it brought another type of challenges, as you can imagine, as anybody can imagine who worked ever with some chatbot. Sometimes you get proper answer, sometimes not, sometimes you get total hallucination. So we had to learn how to split the original source code into smaller parts to feed the context to the AI, and then review the output. It went surprisingly well, and it went not so surprisingly bad at some times. So we had to learn certain, I would say, unique knowledge how to handle these AI colleagues. What we managed to learn during the process was how to prepare proper prompts for the AI, of course, and also proper context. So the outcome at the end was the code which was suitable for using the product or being used in the production mode. So the output from the AI had to keep the same coding standards and all the policies we already have in place for production code. That was one important thing. Second important thing was that when the AI generated block of code, we also let AI generate the unit tests for the block of the code. At the end, we came out with, I think now we have like 62% test coverage, which of course is just one metric. Usually it's not so important, but it kind of shows that for AI generated code, you also need unit tests in place to be checking the code. Too often there were hallucinations. For example, the source code was full of German phrases, so the AI was tending to translate yacht with Y, so ja into yes, for example, which is perfectly compilable. It just doesn't work, and this kind of defects had to be found during the review and then handled with the unit tests. At the end, the most important knowledge which we got from the project and what we actually delivered to the customer was that using basically zero analytical phase and zero cooperation from the customer in the analytical phase, we were able to create block of code which was functionally doing exactly the same thing. So we had unit tests all green, comparing old system, new system, delivered to the customer, and the customer exactly understood what is in the software and what is the outcome of the system software, because the customer knew the functional and business details of it, which we actually didn't. I still don't have quite a clue what it actually does business-wise, but they perfectly know what it does technological.